troublemakers. How are y'all? I was treated to Jools reviewing not just one, but two of her videos, or actually a part one and part two. You know, she had to say hi, Darlene, in the chat. You know, to holler out to me. Hi, how are you? But anyway, in the chat, it consisted of her doing a ridiculous crap, trying to act like, oh, I planned for this live to be at this time, but what do you know? I'm so freaking busy that I got busy because I was busy, and so what do you know? I'm not ready for this live. So, why don't you watch while I make some food? So she goes into the kitchen and takes her two big feeding bowls and starts clanging the fuck out of them. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine that amount of clanging? And then, I mean, it's just, I mean, Carol is a freaking saint, because Carol put up with all of this obnoxious behavior, and she did all of this obnoxious behavior to get attention. It's everything from the clingy jingly bracelets to being super loud with the dishware. It was just everything so that she could get a rise out of Carol and make it so that Carol didn't want to deal with it, and Carol would take her out to eat every day, 2 to 3 times a freaking day, until Carol ran out of fucking money, you know? I mean, you either say Carol is a saint or Carol's the biggest enabler, and I don't know, but I mean, you just had to feel sorry for the woman, and she just didn't, you know, that was the big thing, is that she didn't want Lordy Beth to get more animals because of how excited she'd get with the animals, but excited in a bad way, and you all see it for what it is, where it's just that non-stop, the animals do anything, and she starts her fake screeching and screaming at them. And here's the thing that I've never understood, is that, rest in peace, Bella, you know, she put Bella down so she could get the puppy. She'd scream and scream and scream at Bella, and we all know that, you know, if Bella dared to breathe, she'd start screaming at her. Well, what was the point when she also wants to defend the fact that she put Bella down, saying that Bella was blind and deaf? It's either Bella was blind and deaf, so what sense was it making that she would always yell at her, or she wasn't blind and deaf, which gives no reason for her to have been put down. Not that being blind and deaf is a reason to be put down. There were several people that offered to give Bella a home, and that's the problem. Bella wasn't, you know, doing anything other than being a dog. I mean, and Bella wasn't even allowed to act like a dog. Her animals aren't allowed to act like animals. She wants them to be her puppets, just like anybody. She wants everybody to be her puppets. As you've seen in the chats, nobody is allowed to chat amongst themselves. Nobody is allowed to do anything other than stare at Lordy Beth. And if you dare to have a conversation amongst yourself while you're waiting for her to, you know, do something, or she's on a tangent, she'll block you. And that's just not okay. I don't know of any other YouTuber that does that. Often in live conversations or live chats, we chat amongst each other. I'm interested in true crime, as y'all know, and so when the creator is talking about something and somebody has a question, they'll pop up with, well, what are you saying here? And it's pretty common for one of us to say, oh, this is that, or this was this, or this is how you can find that. It's really normal. It's as normal as people being together in person, having sub conversations. But she has to act like she's in a damn classroom, And you can't tell me that even in a classroom she paid attention. You know that she had to sit there and be jingle. She's got to go potty. She's got to do this. She's got to do that. Which I cannot imagine how many days she's actually going to last at this school that she says she's going to. If she even made it to day one. Because you know that she's going to pull a big chronic pain bullshit story in a week. She's going to say that she couldn't go to school because of the pain, but it's going to be because she was not adulated, because you know that on the first day Lori's going to be there with her new backpack and new lunch bags and new water bottle and her new pen gear planner, and making sure that the planner says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday. Checked them all. Checked every fucking week. Made sure that the planner had all of those in it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday. Oh yeah. Had to make sure they were there. And they were. Mark my words, they were there. So she'd be like putting her arm up with the bingo wings up, flapping them at people. They're like, stop flapping me with your fucking arm flap, ma'am. Please? She'd be like, pick me, pick me, pick me. And the teacher would be like, oh, anybody else? Doesn't anybody else want to answer this question? Be sweeping the room, and LB will be like, me. Okay, well, if you're not going to pick me, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. And you know she'd be taking over the fucking classroom. She'd be like, I really don't need this class, but it's a technicality because I already know everything. But because this and that, I have to go back here so that they can put it on an official document. But, I don't have to work because I invested so wisely in real estate, even though I've never invested in real estate, even though I was never a real estate agent. Right? So this new damn apartment, I don't know what the backstory is in that freaking crib outside the freaking deck. I don't know if somebody fell out of the grates and they had to go back and retrofit them for safety, but I thought that she had put cardboard boxes around because it just didn't look natural. And I was saying to Jools, like, what in the double fuck is going on with that? And it was pitiful because she put this poor picture of Doofus looking underneath the one little gap where he can look out and see the free world and be like, help me, help me, help, woof woof, help me. The big lady won't let me go. The big lady touches my big red rocket. Help! I mean, honestly, it looks like they had to go through and put some crap on them to bring them up to code. But she is trying to act like she has this place. And now, you know what? I'm going to tell you about this place. I'm a frickin' tell ya, okay? I had the place, okay? I had gotten a divorce, and I had been with my first husband from age 15 to 28, and his parents let me live with them when I was 16 and pregnant, and they were amazing to my children, and my children spent every holiday, every summer there. I mean, when one of my sons was two years old, Grandpa bought him a tractor, an old tractor, to take apart and put back together. By the time my son was 4, he could take apart and put together tractors and other small equipment. I mean, their grandparents were amazing. And so I came from no family, abuse, as I've spoken about. So what right did I have to get a divorce? My ex-husband wasn't going to let me have the property. I just had to do what I had to do. And in lieu of child support, I let him have our real estate. And I actually did have real estate investments. We actually did own 4 homes at the time of our divorce. So in lieu of child support, I gave him the properties and I wanted a clean break. So I got myself an apartment. And I was looking all over, and it was really hard to find an apartment at that time. And then there was this one. I followed this road out, and it was this nature preserve and golf course. And so it was these beautiful apartments, and they backed to, so your back window was to the nature preserve, and past that was the golf course. And I got the top floor because I myself love myself a cathedral ceiling. And where I was living, it has mild temperatures, so it's not a huge deal. You know, you have like one week where it's a little too hot, but that's about it. It's very mild temperatures year round. The cathedral ceilings aren't as much of a problem out there. But I had my own freaking castle of an apartment, because the way the cathedral ceilings were done, they were just super high, and every window looked out at the nature preserve, and it was just beautiful. And I got kind of like, I don't know what you call them, but everybody just said my place was a castle, because I got like these beautiful kind of like, I guess you call them kind of like King Arthur type, just like where a knight was being knighted by a princess picture, and another one of a castle, and another one of these gorgeous angels. And so I really just played up the castle theme in there, and I would have my friends, or I was in my man-eater phase because I'd never had one, so I'd take my prey up to my castle, and I mean, it would just be, everybody's jaw would just freaking drop. And I had some money back then, and when you have money, you have a lot of friends. Let me tell you, you make friends faster than anything when you have money, let me tell you. So I had a little money to myself, and I had some time to myself, and I didn't have a TV or anything, and I was going through some shit, you know, just kind of trying to figure out who I was post-divorce. And but that was a damn freaking nice apartment. Now get this, let me take a sip of my wild cherry Pepsi decadent drink. My address, I shit you not, was Country Club Drive. Yep, Country Club Drive. And I used to run in the mornings, and I would wake up at like 6, and I would run through the preserve, and had a lot of anger built up, so I didn't fear anything. If anybody would have came for me, I would have beat the shit out of them. And so the only thing that ever happened in the nature preserve 6 a.m. run by myself was this big dad duck came after me, because they must have hatched their ducks. And this big fucker, man, he chased me for a long time in there, and I was scared. I didn't know if I would survive, because his bills, fucker had teeth in his beak. I didn't know that ducks have teeth, but yeah, he was gonna eat me. And so that was an interesting time in my life, but that was a damn ass beautiful apartment. Was it a little on the expensive side? Yes. Yes, it was. It was. But that's okay, because it was worth it. And I'm glad, because I went on to get remarried rather quickly. I was engaged before I was divorced, but I've been separated. But the technicalities, big mess. But I didn't meet him until, I've been single for 5 months. So anyway, I took time to travel, and I took time for myself, and it was important. And my kids got to stay in the same house, same school, same routine with their grandparents all their life, and they got to, my oldest, I think he had three places he lived before, two, when we were getting established, and then we got our big home right before he was 3. So my older sons all were raised in one home their whole life, and just recently their dad sold the main home, but it was what it was. But when she talks about her apartment, you'd think she's describing what I had, and nope, she is not describing what I had, because when I look at what she has, I'm going, what the fuck? Why are you bragging about this, you ass? But it's just like anything. It's just as simple as when she was getting the fucking tahini. The tahini! And that's what she thought she was, because she thought she was going to be able to sneak in like a little thing where it's be like, oh, the LBL cooking show. Oh, yeah, I want to cook like her and you saw. She said, well, why don't you come with me in the kitchen while I cook something up for you? Well, number one, no one's there. No one's to be there, right? Well, number two, she can't fucking cook, just as Jools said. So what does she do? She goes in there and shows us how she mixes up a dressing and talks about how she ate a cucumber and sticks threads through her multiple holes. And if she's talking about that hole in her fucking ear, that's a fucking piece of hamburger. Have you ever seen that earlobe of hers? That's not for the faint of heart. I'm not kidding. And all she kept saying in there is threading the holes. Threading things through her holes. I'm going, fuck, my brain can only take so much, ma'am. And she didn't like it when someone said that disgusting silver shimmery thing that she had gave disco vibes, did she? But yeah, so what did she even make? I don't know. I got lost in the tahini. The tahini. Oh, you just put on the tahini. I make my tahini. The fuck next? Is she going to show us how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Or is she going to make carrots dipped in ranch dressing from the bottle? I don't know. I guess it'll be more clanging of the big bowl and the big spoon. I'll be anxiously waiting. God, why is she so hard on those G's? Huh? And of course she had to have the last name that has the big G in it. Grr. I mean, who puts that much out there about themselves? I mean, she puts everything out there and her birthday with the year. And then, she'd be surprised if somebody used her credit. She meets people. Oh, yeah, well, if you don't remember my name, I have it right here on this necklace, okay? You can't see you didn't know my name was Lori Beth, but you can't fucking read? What? Huh? But that one was funny because she was talking about how she was going back in the single ads, and it's kind of funny because how long has it been since then? And there's no man, and there was no man that ever turned up from there. She was acting like she was so much better than these men. Yeah, not one of them would take her. No. And like Jools said, they probably all, talk amongst each other and said that she's a fucking catfish because she was using that picture that she heavily edited just of her upper body, I think, when she'd had a decent haircut before she started mangling her own Duralo pad. And what the fuck? She said her hair is so fine. Her hair is the texture of my fucking pubic hair, okay? She has pubic hair coming out the top of her head. You can just tell. It's not fine. It's not fine hair, okay? It's not fine. And don't even get me started on pubic hair because that's just what she has coming out of the top of her head. And that's why she has to keep bleaching it. And I look at it and I just see a fucking pile of pubes. And you can't tell me that anybody else doesn't because they don't bleach right. Not that I know if my pubes had bleached right. I don't know. I guess that'd be something I could do. Maybe a DIY bleach my pubes and find out. But I mean, the way that her hair is responding to, well, I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's actually using household bleach. That could explain a fucking lot. Because you know how she likes to use, I used a sander on my feet. I use a sander on my chin. Well, anyway, let's just hope she found her razor to fucking get rid of that Hitler stash. But anyway, All right, I will talk at y'all soon. Have a great week. Thanks for listening.